gives me great pleasure to come back to Odisha and share some of my experiences. And some may call it knowledge, but that's a bit of a strong word, but certainly my experiences on technology. Now, having been in technology for 50 years, it gives me a different perspective than most of you. I've not only used technology, I've lived it, I've created it, and also I have destroyed it. Sometimes technology becomes so oppressive, you have to throw it away. So, at the same time, you cannot also allow technologies to run your life. You have to be you. The employees of a government, they have to be employees, they have to be creative. They have to use their ideas, their initiatives. You cannot let technology suppress those things. You can only allow technology to enhance them. And that's how I started in technology back in, to be exact, 1971. I had prepared a presentation, but I don't think we're going to have that today. There's some technical difficulties, which is actually good in a way. Instead of spending half an hour and trying to bore some of you, I'd rather speak for 10 minutes and perhaps field any questions or anything that you may have. First of all, technology, if you think about technology like your cell phones, your television, your WhatsApp, Facebook, so on, do they add value to your life? Do they add value to your work? If they do, by all means, use them. Now, I started out as a programmer back in many years ago. In those days, there were not even computer keyboards, punch tapes, and so on. But they solved a problem. Like Tata TIFR used to have a computer. We used to travel from Bangalore all the way to Bombay to use an ICL computer. We had to punch out tapes and feed that to the computer, and the computer used to give us the results or the solution to a problem that we're trying to solve. Now, I can do that on my small iPhone or Samsung or whatever, those kind of problems. And those computers used to take a whole room of air conditioned, probably bigger than the stage. Now technology has evolved. But what have we done with it? Are we solving the problems? Does it take you days and hours to run to a government office to get a permit or a license? Or can you do that from your iPhone or your Samsung? You still can't. Most of India. But where we work with technology in USA and Canada and the Caribbean, Europe, they can interact with the government for all their needs from some kind of a smart device. Maybe a computer, could be iPhone. So why can't they do that in India? I personally find doing business in India takes so long and takes so many people's help. That should not be. We call it smart city. Now, is Bhubaneswar a smart city? I don't think so. It's a more livable city than any other city that India I know of, but not a smart city. Can you get any government services from your iPhone or your smartphone? Don't think so. So until that happens, you cannot call the city a smart city. And we brought technology to make that happen very quickly. We brought a technology called Amanda about 25 years ago, just to make governments provide services to the citizens very quickly and effectively with whatever smart device they have. It doesn't have to be an iPhone. And we started out removing all the obstacles to building systems. Technology doesn't solve your problem, it's the system. Now, to do that, you have to build, of course, on technology, computer programs that build the smartness to the technology, which then delivers the service to the citizens wherever, whenever they want. AAA, anytime, anywhere, and for everyone. So that technology we've been selling in North America for last 25, 26 years. And now we took that technology to Africa because we said, look, developing countries need smartness much more than the developed countries. The developed countries, they're in a catch-22 situation, we call it. They don't have money to develop the systems, and they need the systems to generate the money. So what's happening is the citizens are not getting their services. If you want to build a house, you need a permit. If it takes you 3 years to get a permit, imagine how much the economy is being set back. If you want to take a year to start a business, means that much output is taken away from the economy and your life. So you need smart systems. So what we did, we said, look, why systems take so long and take so much money, always over time, over budget? Because of the computer programmers. They are the weakest link in building good systems. Even if they do, they have a lot of errors, and we call them bugs. So if we can remove the programming part or minimize it to a level that is not an impediment, so we call that a zero-code platform. Now, sorry if there are a lot of computer programmers here, they're probably afraid they might lose their jobs. Not really. They can use their talent in building that system, not programming. It's a big difference. Building a system means talking to people, listening to their needs, and translating that into a smart system that does it for you. So, the zero-code programming, I'll give you some examples. When we actually, through World Bank, they asked us, can we help African countries? And the Canadian government encouraged us, saying, okay, see what you can do. So we went to, first we picked Nigeria, because it was the richest country at that time in Africa, because they had a lot of oil. And the oil price was over $100 a barrel. And they had lots of money. But within a year, the oil crashed to over $40. Hopefully you remember those, like 4 years ago. And suddenly, the country had no money. And they couldn't afford to buy our solutions in the millions of dollars. So we told them, okay, how about this? We will build the system for you at our cost. So we got a bank in Dubai to fund that. We built it. We brought the hardware, the software, the people, built it. And they started using it. Now, you would say it might have taken years. No. The first state we helped is the Kwara state. It took us 6 weeks to build all their revenue collection systems. 6 weeks. Actually, I had all the data on this, my PowerPoint, but we cannot show that. And within 6 months, the revenue went up 120%. Because everything is digitized now. All the taxpayers are digitized. Their location, their name and address, what business they do, everything is digitized. and the computer sends them reminders. You have to pay so much tax. And they pay. So the government is very happy. They didn't spend a single dime. They didn't have to go through the budget process, approval in the Senate, the president, all those things, which takes years. Within 6 weeks of signing a contract with us, they had a digitized system, automated system to collect revenue from their citizens. And that revenue is being now used to build roads and schools and hospitals. The next state, they heard about it, Ondo State. They came to us, we said, sure. And Ondo State is a little bit more difficult because they didn't have any premise, not even an office. So we built a building for them to house all the people that are used in collecting revenue, auditing and so on. We hired 80 people, local people. So we built the system, we hired the people, we built the structures, and within 8 weeks, they're starting to use our system. And now, after 6 months, we found out they have increased their revenue to 130% in 6 months. So, didn't cost them a penny. All our money, funded by a bank in Dubai, all our technology, and they have a smart government. No budgeting, no Senate approvals, no Congress, no parliament. So that is how technology ought to work. By the way, now we have about 5 more states. Now it's going on. The federal government of Nigeria is using it now for collecting taxes and giving tax certificates to people online, all within 8 weeks. Federal government took about a little longer, 9 or 10 weeks, because of more complexity. But we're talking about weeks. Now, this is changing the paradigm of computer system development. And particularly, it applies to India because we have such a huge backlog. We can develop millions of systems to make government smarter. Smarter means serving the citizens better. That's the only way you can measure smartness. Not by how many computers you have or how many huge, tall, high-rise buildings you have for your computer staff. That doesn't do anything. So let us change the paradigm. The zero-code technology is here. And CSDC was the first one to embrace that 25 years ago. Now, people are talking more and more about it 25 years later. Even now, they don't talk about zero code, they talk about near zero code. But I'm talking about zero code. It's possible. You know, the people who helped us develop this system, all here in India. We started in 2002 with a small development center here in Bhubaneswar. Now it has grown to about 70 people or so. We have about 70, 80 people in Noida and about 60, 70 people in Chennai. These are the people that have helped us build this zero-code platform for governments. And the people who are implementing it, they're also here in Bhubaneswar. Actually, Venugopal is our implementation manager. So he has, and you think he would have thousands of people? No. He has only 25 people and helping implement all the systems in all over Africa, in Senegal, Nigeria, Côte d'Ivoire. Okay. So that is the future of systems development. And Dr. Rai, with all due respect, we've been too dependent in India on the bodies or the masses of bodies in system development. It's kind of a drug we've been addicted to. You need a team of 500 people to do this passport system for India. If you're less than 500, the government won't believe you. We can do it in 6 months with 50 people. That kind of complex system. We have done it. So the fact that you need to have a lot of people to build smart systems, that notion should be forgotten. You need new way of developing systems. And that's what CSDC brings to India. And we have our partners all here. Tattva is here. Ayushkant, they're a great partner. Now, we've been doing it through stealth. We have not done much fanfare because we've been proving the concept out in the West. If I had started to prove it in India, it would have never happened. It's proven in Africa. Now, I'm bringing it to India. And a lot of technology companies in Delhi particularly now have signed up MOUs with us, see if they can partner with us. And they're all hardware people and infrastructure people. But they want partners which can really intelligently use their infrastructure to provide a smart solution for the citizens and the governments. And I urge you all, look us up. And this is the new way of doing it. Whether you like it or not, we are doing it. Thank you very much for listening.